And sometimes I am blinded by my own foolishness. Ah, I love this one. Now we get into Shakespeare territory. Blinded by my own foolishness. Convinced that I am innocent. And all players upon my stage are guilty. Where's my sword? That's another thing that can play out. So yes, I am willing. I love permission. You know why I love permission? Because it gets results. It moves things. It moves things fast. And you can apply it to so many things. I've seen people try to sell their homes for 3 friggin' years and the market's hot. Everybody's house is selling except theirs. Oh, what's going on? It's the psychological attachments. Psychological attachments to anything. A condition, an experience, a cup. Psychological attachments. Those attachments will not move away from you without permission. People have experienced this with their homes. People have experienced this with their parents. Parents who are losing life in their body. Parents who are just holding on. And the children are all looking at each other, and then there's enough wisdom in one child, it says. And that child, that sister goes to the brother and says, you know what? You're holding on to mom and dad. You're not letting them go. You're not giving them permission. You have such a deep psychological attachment to our parents. You are holding them in bodies that are broken. Get on the right page. Set them free. And that's not going to happen until you give yourself permission to set your parents free. Then you can go to them and you can either telepathically or speak it to them. You're free to go now. You've lived a good long life. Go into the light. If you, precious hearts, I must reinforce this. If you think that permission's not a big deal, you are wrong. Permission is an action of frequency. And when you give yourselves permission. And what about you parents? What about your children? Go to your children's life right now. You know your children. Their achievements, the things that they're not achieving well. Maybe you ought to ask yourself, even if they're grown up, is there anything that I failed to give my grown-up children permission? Because permission, it's big. Maybe my children didn't, maybe I didn't emphasize that they were free, that I encouraged my children to be achievers, that they could succeed in all their dreams, that they could accomplish all their tasks. Did I give permission to my children to pursue excellence in their values, in their behavior, in their conduct, in their lives? Gosh, lives were kind of tough for us when we were kids. Do I remember giving our children permission that they could have a lot more than mom and dad had? That they could make a lot more money than mom and dad had? This is important. Permission of self. And realize Everyone in your life, there's a term, do you remember this term? Accolades. AKA. Accolades are emotional chords. They are both negative and positive. And in your world of duality, they are chords of hatred to the extreme and love to the other extreme. There are individuals in your world, sad to say, but they just hate each other. And unknown to them, those two individuals have an accolade. And it's a cord of magnetic energy that gets projected out of the solar plexus and goes right into the solar plexus of the person that you hate. And right back from them to you. Many years ago, we encouraged you once a week, usually on Sundays, until it was done, that you would call upon Archangel Michael and his angels to come to you once a week on Sundays and sever all discordant accolades so that you be free of them. Because if you have discordant accolades coming into you from others, those discordant accolades can make your emotional body act discordantly. So most of you did this. You did this work. And you can continue to do this work. So when you have extreme hate between two individuals, and imagine if they become leaders. Imagine if they become presidents and prime ministers, and they hate each other.